This podcast was produced using artificial intelligence and refined by human editors. Hello, Globetrotters, and welcome back to Travel with Lara and Luca. As ever, I'm your host, Lara, the wanderlusting wordsmith, ready to serve you another slice of the world on a sonorous platter.
And I'm your co-host, Luca, the perennial passenger with a penchant for all things peculiar and poetic. Today, my fellow explorers, we are about to dive into the heart of Japan.
That's right. We are traveling to Osaka, a city that pulsates with energy, history, and the best street food your taste buds could ever dream of.
Osaka, where the neon lights compete with the stars, where the past plays tag with the future, and where every alley whispers 1,000 stories.
You're already waxing poetic, Luca. Save some of that charm for the rest of the show. Our listeners are in for a treat today. Whether you're dreaming of your first visit or reminiscing about your last, we'll reignite that travel spark.
Without a doubt. And speak of sparks, Lara, I must confess, Osaka's allure first captivated me through the silver screen with Ridley Scott's Black Rain. The high-octane chases through Osaka's rain-slicked streets are absolutely unforgettable.
Oh, precisely. The film radiates an intensity that mirrors the city's dynamic pulse. The clash of cultures and crime drama unfolding amidst the backdrop of Osaka's gritty yet vibrant urban landscape is epic to any film buff's delight. If you thought that was thrilling, just wait until we unravel more cinematic connections for you today.
Not to mention our literary escapades, weaving through the pages of novels set against the backdrop of this city's kaleidoscopic canvas.
Now you're speaking my language, from Natsume Soseki's reflections to Haruki Murakami's fever dreams. Osaka has been the silent character in many a tale.
And we haven't even started on music. The J-pop scene in Osaka is vibrant. It's home to some incredible talents. Lara, how often do you find yourself humming a tune by a certain Osaka-born superstar?
Oh, more often than I care to admit. Her influence can be felt resonating down the Dotonbori every night.
That's not all, folks. Our voyage today covers the maze of Osaka's evocative sights, its exquisite cuisine that's a symphony on the palate, and hidden nooks that even the savviest of travelers might miss.
And lest we forget the profound stories etched into each corner, must-see landmarks that are the heartthrob of the city's skyline, weird and wonderful facts that will have you raising your eyebrows.
And it wouldn't be a Travel with Lara and Luca special without us spilling our secret travel tips to optimize your adventure in the land of the rising sun.
On top of that, if your feet get itchy for more than just the city, we've scoped out side excursions to make your trip to Osaka a multi-layered experience, each more memorable than the last.
So buckle up, my fellow ramblers. Whether you're tuning in from a cozy cafe in Kyoto or a bustling subway in Brooklyn, we're about to teleport your imagination to the dazzling streets of Osaka.
Now, before we set off on this cultural cavalcade, we have a teeny request for our lovely listeners. If you enjoy our little travel tete-a-tete, please show some love by hitting that subscribe button and give us a starry thumbs up rating. It helps fellow travelers find us on their digital journeys.
That's right. And don't be shy to drop us a comment or two as well. Share your travel dreams, memories, or even that peculiar encounter with a local that left you chuckling for weeks.
We feed on your stories like the mighty Osaka Castle stands proud on its stone foundation. So lean back or lean in, take a sip of that aromatic tea or coffee you've got cradled in your hands, and let us whisk you away to a world where tradition tangos with daredevil modernity.
And boy, do we have stories, right, Lara? Speaking of coffee, remember that little cafe by the Yodo River you found that one time?
Oh, the one with the barista who spoke in haikus? That place was a treasure. But let's not give it all away just yet, Luca.
Fair point, as always. Let's pave the way for what's to come. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, our first stop on this grand Osaka adventure. Iconic sights that give the city its unforgettable skyline and charm.
Your auditory odyssey through Asia's kitchen, or should we say, the chef's special at a 5-star establishment, begins right after this musical interlude. Stick around. Welcome back, dear Globetrotters. We're diving straight into the heart of Osaka, and no journey to this pulsating city is complete without a visit to its iconic sites.
Absolutely, Lara. And where else to start but the grandeur that is Osaka Castle? Standing amidst the cherry blossoms, it embodies the city's resilience and beauty.
This castle isn't just a sight to behold, it's a journey through time. Imagine being transported back to the 16th century, when the great samurai warrior Toyotomi Hideyoshi dreamt of a Japan united under his rule.
A dream immortalized in stone and wood. The castle has seen it all. Luca, from the siege of Osaka to dramatic restorations, a phoenix risen multiple times from its ashes.
But oh, the view! Climb up to the 8th floor and the city sprawls beneath you like a vast living canvas. That's the spot where history whispers the loudest, don't you think, Luca?
Undoubtedly. Although I do have a penchant for our next stop that offers quite the competition, the Umeda Sky Building and its famed floating garden observatory.
Ah, the Umeda Sky Building, 2 towers connected by what might as well be a pathway to the stars. Quite the sight for sore eyes, or any eyes for that matter.
It's almost like stepping into a sci-fi novel, isn't it? The sleek design, the glass-enclosed escalator soaring up to the 39th floor. It's like boarding a spaceship.
I'd sign up for that voyage. Once you're up there, the panoramic views are nothing short of meteoric. Gazing over Osaka, you realize you're part of this city's heartbeat, pulsing with life and light.
And speaking of heartbeats, let's not forget a place that always makes mine skip a beat, the Kaiyukan Aquarium. A sanctuary where the ocean comes to you in all its mysterious glory.
Last time I was there, I had an almost spiritual moment with a whale shark. We're talking eye to eye as it glided past in the enormous Pacific Ocean tank. It's a whole other universe in there.
Isn't it just? A universe where jellyfish waltz and dolphins dive. Although Lara, wasn't there a rather curious encounter you had there? One involving our flightless friends dressed in tuxedos?
Oh, the penguins! Yes, during one visit, while I was completely mesmerized by their aquatic acrobatics, I didn't notice one curious little fellow waddling up close. And you know what, Luca? He nipped me. Right on the shoe!
A love bite from an admirer. That's Osaka for you. Even the animals are candid and unabashedly charming.
Absolutely. But while we're on the topic of charm, let's saunter over to where dreams are lit up, brighter than the stars. We're talking, of course, about Shinsaibashi Suji, the shopping arcade that sparkles with life at all hours.
The kaleidoscope of neon signs is hypnotic. And do you remember that one shop crammed full of vintage kimonos? It was like stepping through a wardrobe into a past era.
A treasure trove of colors and patterns. I think I lost you in there for a good hour, Luca.
Guilty as charged. It's not merely a shopping spree, it's an exploration of texture and tradition.
And just around the corner, the heart of this great metropolis, Dotonbori. The lights, the smells of sizzling takoyaki, and the buzz of excited voices. It's like walking onto a movie set where everyone's a star.
Did you know, Lara, the famous Glico man sign has been watching over Dotonbori for over 80 years? It's evolved with the times, yet remains an unwavering symbol of Osaka's endurance.
Historical and heartfelt, indeed. Something our next iconic site knows all about. Let's float on over to the Tempozen Ferris wheel near the harbor. On a clear day, you can even see Mount Ikoma from the top.
Mount Ikoma in the distance, the sea at your feet. The wheel offers a moment of serenity amidst the city's hustle. Although, when it's lit up at night, it feels like you're part of the constellations.
A majestic piece of the city's skyline puzzle. But, Luca, we can't talk about Osaka's sights without mentioning the spiritual sanctuaries, the temples and shrines.
Oh, the tranquility among the torii gates. Sumiyoshi Taisha Shrine, with its straight from a painting bridge and pressing close, the classical serenity of Ishinji Temple with its Buddha statues cast from the ashes of the departed.
The way Osaka weaves the spiritual into the fabric of daily life, it's nothing short of poetic. It's a city where every corner tells a story, every shrine holds a melody, and every tower stands as a testament to its legacy.
Indeed, it's the past speaking to the present. Yet, there's an area in Osaka where the future seems to beckon with open arms, the Nakanoshima district, with its sharply modern architecture and lush park running along the river.
Symphony halls, serenade office buildings, and rose gardens. It's a microcosm of Osaka's dual nature, progress gracing palms with the past.
And on that note of progress meeting history, it's time to wrap up this segment of our journey through the iconic sights of Osaka.
Woo! I feel like we've been on an emotional Ferris wheel ride ourselves, Luca. And with that, let's take a fleeting pause, but don't you wander too far.
Because when we return, we'll be savoring Osaka's world-famous cuisine. Who's hungry for some takoyaki or craving a delectable bite of okonomiyaki? Stay with us, dear listeners.
Files of food fantasies coming your way shortly. See you soon.
Welcome back, fellow travelers. I hope you've brought your appetites, because we are about to embark on a culinary odyssey right here in Osaka, a city often christened Japan's kitchen.
Oh, I can already hear the sizzling of the griddle, the pop of octopus balls turning in their pans. We're in for a mouth-watering segment. So where do we start on this banquet of flavors, Luca?
Where else but the king of street food, the pride of Osaka, the ever-popular takoyaki. Tiny orbs of joy that are as fun to watch being made as they are to eat.
They almost dance on the hot iron griddle, morsels of octopus encased in batter, turned with such skill and served piping hot with a flourish of sauce and a sprinkle of bonito flakes. It's not just a snack, Luca, it's a performance.
A performance indeed. And how wonderful it is to see the vendors' pride in every takoyaki they serve. Each ball, a haiku of flavor. Simple ingredients coming together to create a bite-sized festival.
A haiku of flavor. I love that. And as we talk about festivals, we can't forget another local love, okonomiyaki, Osaka's answer to the pancake, and what a savory, scrumptious answer it is.
This is no ordinary pancake, folks. It's a canvas for creativity. You have your cabbage, your flour, eggs, perhaps some green onions, and then a melange of anything from pork to seafood, cheese to kimchi.
There's a poetry in the way the batter spreads, isn't there? Each okonomiyaki is a personal poem, unique to each hand that pours and flips it.
A culinary couplet to takoyaki's haiku. Let's not forget to douse it in that rich, sweet, and savory sauce, a dollop of mayo, and a garnish of dancing bonito flakes. It's the very definition of umami.
Delightful. Now, for those on the hunt for refined flavors, Osaka doesn't disappoint with its selection of Michelin-starred restaurants. Brace your taste buds. This is high art on a plate.
Sushi to raise your spirits, kaiseki to enchant your senses. Each course tells a story, using the freshest seasonal ingredients to evoke the essence of Japan.
And we can't look past dishes like kushikatsu, deep-fried skewers of everything from tender meat to succulent vegetables, all ready to be dipped in a communal sauce.
Communal but careful, Lara. Remember the golden rule. No double dipping. It's a one-time plunge into that tangy, savory sauce, a testament to Osaka's communal dining culture.
Right you are, Luca. The dipping etiquette is almost as important as the skewers themselves.
But if we're talking communal, we can't overlook the izakayas, Japan's answer to the gastropub. An izakaya in Osaka, with its buzzy energy and small plates, is a symphony of flavors and laughter.
Oh, the stories those lantern-lit izakayas could tell if only the walls could talk. I remember one in the heart of Tenma, where a secret recipe for chicken karaage had my taste buds singing in chorus.
And I'll raise your karaage with a dish that, while not as famous internationally, is close to the hearts of Osakans. Doteyaki. Simmered beef sinew in a sweet and savory miso glaze, utterly tender and oh so comforting.
Listeners, if you could just smell these dishes through your speakers. Now for those with a sweet tooth, fear not. Osaka has you covered with mochi and imaginative desserts that are almost too pretty to eat.
Almost, Lara. But let's be honest, nothing stands between me and a beautifully crafted dorayaki. Red bean paste sandwiched between fluffy castella. It's a poem for the palate, a sonnet of sweetness.
And remember those whimsical taiyaki, Luca? Fish-shaped cakes cradling sweet fillings. I followed a trail of their sweet scent through a market just last year.
Chasing taiyaki by their aroma, is there a more delightful pursuit? And as we speak of markets, we can't ignore the cornucopia of flavors to be had at Kuromon Market. A full kilometer of vendors offering a bounty of fresh produce and local delights.
Strolling through there is like navigating a treasure map. Each stall, another X to mark a spot of rich finds, from seasonal fruits to the day's catch from the ocean.
It's where the city's chefs shop for ingredients, so you know it's the freshest of the fresh. And speaking of fresh, Osaka's proximity to the sea gifts us with some of the most divine sushi you'll ever taste.
You've not lived until you've tasted Osaka sushi, each piece a tiny, edible work of art. Sushi chefs dedicating a lifetime to perfecting that rice-to-fish ratio, each mouthful a harmonious medley.
Speaking of harmony, we are about to wrap up this feast of a segment. Lara, how's your appetite now?
After talking about all of that, I think I could eat my weight in takoyaki, Luca.
Well, save some room for later. As we move on from the delicious cuisine of Osaka, we'll soon uncover the hidden gems this metropolis softly cradles in its embrace.
Stay tuned as we share stories of secret spots that even some locals are yet to discover.
So, dear listeners, tighten your apron strings and pocket some napkins, because when we come back, it's all about Osaka's lesser-known but equally captivating sights.
Don't wander too far, we've got plenty more tales to tempt you. See you in a moment. Welcome back, dear travelers. With our palates still savoring the last delightful notes of Osaka's cuisine, let's now uncover the city's best-kept secrets. It's time to talk hidden gems.
That's right, Lara. Away from the neon glow and the bustling crowds lies another Osaka, full of secret passageways and whispers from yesteryears. Let's tiptoe into these concealed corners.
Our first clandestine jewel, Hozenji Yokocho. This narrow, stone-paved alley is a step into the Showa era, a time capsule amidst Osaka's modernity, isn't it, Luca?
Absolutely. At its heart, the small but mighty Hozenji Temple, watched over by the charming Fudo Mio, shrouded in a soft green moss, a testament to the many visitors who have splashed water in their prayers.
It's enchanting, handing over those wishes with each delicate sprinkle. There's a sense of shared dreams, each droplet a hope from the many who have stood in your place.
Speaking of enchanting places, how about that hidden cafe in Amerikamura? Lara, the one with the extravagant theme. You remember our venture there?
How could I forget? Through a door that whispered of yesteryears, we entered a world that felt part comic book and part vintage Americana, a cacophony of the unexpected.
Indeed. While Amerikamura is known for its vibrant street culture, this place was a secret page in its urban diary. Passers-by oblivious to the treasure trove of kitschy relics and eccentrically dressed baristas within.
It goes to show, for every Osaka street that's trodden, there's an alleyway inviting the curious to discover more. Now, for the art aficionados, Tsuruhashi might just become your favorite Osaka haunt.
With its underground art scene, some of the most genuine depictions of the city's beating heart hang on those gallery walls. And the bonus? You're likely to end up chatting with the creators themselves.
It's intimate, down-to-earth, and utterly mesmerizing. Moving on, let's not gloss over the existence of those indie bookstores we've spent hours in, the ones where time is a long-forgotten concept.
Nothing quite like the aroma of aging paper, bookshelves packed with worlds to uncover. You can almost hear the whispers of literary figures of the past wandering those aisles.
On that note, Osaka is not just about the bustle and the beats. The Todoroki Valley, a patch of preserved nature, is where the city softens its voice, allowing you to hear the murmur of a stream or the rustle of leaves above you.
A slice of serenity. The valley cradles you away from urban life's rapid pulse. Just follow the winding path and let the verdant canopy and the symphony of nature envelop you.
Now, if your curiosity leans towards the mystical, Osaka's reputation is also shrouded in tales of the supernatural. Have you heard of the Naniwa-no-yu hot springs, Luca?
Indeed, a place of legends. Founded on the very site where it is said onsen water appeared at the words of a mystic priest. Within its steaming waters, one's ailments and worries are believed to dissolve.
It's hard not to feel the transformative power of the waters. And while on the subject, there's a special little bookstore in Nakazakicho that we're quite fond of, isn't there?
Definitely. It's not just the vintage collection of books that draw you in, it's also the melody of literary discussions. With every turn of a page, a new discussion unfolds. It's a literary oasis for the like-minded.
Truly a hidden gem within a hidden gem. Every time I visit, I leave with a book I didn't know I needed, but always with the satisfaction of connecting to the city's soul.
Speaking of soul, Osaka's musical pulse isn't confined to grand concert halls. There are those tiny jazz bars, tucked away, barely visible to the public eye.
Hidden down side streets, behind unassuming facades lie these jazz haunts. Once inside, they explode with music that's raw and captivating. It's where true aficionados and your next favorite musicians mingle unabashedly.
And let's not forget the fascinating collection that awaits inside the Osaka Museum of Housing and Living. where you walk through full-scale street replicas from the Edo period, time-traveling to the days of old Osaka.
And lovers of rare finds venture to Nagasaki, one of the few areas spared from bombings in World War II. The streets here are lined with quaint shops in pre-war buildings. Each object holds a quiet history.
But as we unveil these gems, let's also whisper of a specific cafe in Nagasaki, a place where lattes come with a literary quote and every corner cradles an old typewriter.
A haunt for wayward writers or anyone wishing to sip on coffee as prose spills on paper.
And with these whispered treasures, our journey through Osaka's hidden gems draws to a close. For now.
Just a sampler of the many secrets Osaka keeps up its sleeve. Stay with us as we next open the doors to Osaka's most breathtaking must-see places.
Whether you seek tranquility or the thrill of discovery, Osaka has a spot for you. Don't wander far from the path, dear listeners. We'll be right back. And we are back on this scenic route through the bustling and beautiful Osaka. As we peel away the layers of this city, let's dive into the must-see places that give Osaka its unique vibrancy.
Oh, Luca, I am thrilled for this one. When you think Osaka must-see, Dotonbori is undoubtedly at the pinnacle. It's not just a spot, it's the vibrant heart of the city.
The heart, the soul, and the stomach of Osaka. Donbori mirrors the spirit of Osaka's people, energetic, friendly, and always up for a lively time.
Strolling along the Dotonbori Canal, the neon reflections dancing on the water are hypnotic. That iconic Glico Man sign is practically calling out to all who pass. Have you outrun your day yet?
And the running doesn't slow down as we head towards the culinary stalls, Dotonbori's theater of tastes. Here, it's not your eyes you watch a show with, it's your taste buds.
And for those with a zest for theater, the historic Bunraku Puppet Theater nearby is an exquisite experience. Seeing the traditional puppetry, each movement a lifetime to master, is utterly spellbinding.
Imbued with as much life and expression as any actor. Those puppets tell stories that resonate deeply, rooted in the same earth we're standing on.
Now, if we're talking masterpieces of a different kind, Shitennoji Temple is like stepping into a living, breathing watercolor painting, one of the oldest Buddhist temples in Japan.
It's remarkable, Lara. Walking through its gates is like passing through time, with every step back, a century past. There's that 5-story pagoda reaching to the heavens, each tier a story of faith.
The serene garden is part of its charm, drawing you further from the city's hustle. Stone bridges over ponds, willows swaying, carp gliding below. There's a stillness here.
A stillness that awakens something profound within. And let's not neglect Osaka's urban marvels, like the Namba Parks, an architectural endeavor where nature harmonizes with commercial space.
With cascading gardens, it challenges the urban sprawl, as if to say, where you see a building, I'll raise you a green oasis.
It does defiantly nod to Mother Nature amidst the concrete. Which brings us to another of Osaka's iconic structures, the Tsutenkaku Tower, watching over the city like an old guardian.
Affectionately known as the Eiffel Tower of Osaka, it's a beacon of nostalgia and innovation. And Luca, do you remember the legend of Billiken, the god of things as they ought to be?
How could one forget? Perched up there, gracing those who rub his feet with good fortune. Billiken is a silent promise that things will indeed be as they ought to.
From the heights of Tsutenkaku, we travel to the depths of beauty at the Umeda Sky Building. Its twinkling lights at dusk resemble a galaxy. It's like an osmosis of stars meeting city.
Gazing down from its floating garden observatory, the sweeping view is a painting in constant motion, a canvas ever-changing with the sun's angle, the clouds' whimsy.
Let's not forget one of Osaka's most evocative experiences, the Sumiyoshi Taisha Shrine. Its iconic Taiko Bridge with its graceful arch seems to bow to history itself.
This is the tranquility you carry with you. How often have we paused halfway across that bridge, momentarily caught between the earth and the divine?
Countless times, Luca. And for our final must-see on this list, let's drift into the night at the bustling, energetic market of Kuromon Ichiba. A feast not only for the stomach, but for the eyes. Alive with locals bartering, fishmongers calling, and tantalizing scents enveloping every inch of the air.
A symphony of commerce, where each stand sings its own tune. Eating freshly sliced sashimi or grilled scallops right there in the lively atmosphere is an experience in its rawest form.
Kuromon Ichiba is as close as it gets to the pulse of Osaka's kitchen. And with those words, our tour of must-see places in this marvelous city, rich in texture, sound, and color, must come to an end.
But fear not, adventurers. Our journey through the wonders of Osaka is far from over. We've opened your eyes to the must-see spots. Let these images percolate in your mind as we lead into the next segment.
Oh, do stay tuned. Next up is the weird and wonderful facts about this city that we've gathered just for you. Prepare to expect the unexpected.
Welcome back, my fellow voyagers. As we navigate the energetic ebb and flow of Osaka, we've arrived at one of my favorite markers on the map: the weird, the wonderful, and the outright whimsical.
Luca, this is where our journey takes an especially peculiar turn. In Osaka, the unexpected becomes the norm, and fact can be stranger and more fabulous than fiction.
Let the Oddity Odyssey begin with our first strange but true fact: the Tower of the Sun. This peculiar artwork has been capturing the imaginations of Osakans since Expo 70.
Designed by the avant-garde artist Taro Okamoto, the Tower of the Sun is more than just a monument. It's a symbol of the universe, with its three faces watching over the world, the past, present, and future.
And here's an inside scoop. Literally. Inside this bizarrely beautiful creature lies an equally strange tree of life, a sculptural representation of the evolution of life that stretches to the tower's very top.
It's like stepping into another dimension, a mixture of awe, art, and science fiction. And speaking of dimensional travel, did you know that Osaka houses one of the few escalators in the world that curves?
That's right. Located in the Umeda area, it indeed defies the laws of escalators. Who knew that spiraling to your destination could be so enthralling?
Now, from twisting escalators to a bizarre culinary twist, let's talk about Osaka's love affair with mayonnaise.
Ah, mayonnaise, Osaka's unofficially official condiment. They put it on practically everything. And if you thought mayonnaise on pizza was where it stopped, think again.
It's drizzled over takoyaki, okonomiyaki, and even into some cocktails, believe it or not. They say in Osaka, if you like it, put mayo on it.
A mantra for the daring diner. Now, did you know Osaka is also the kingpin of Japan's comedy scene? The famous Manzai style of comedy, featuring a comedic duo, is born and bred here.
True, the city has a bone-deep sense of humor, and the fast-paced back-and-forth banter of Manzai is a cultural cornerstone. When in Osaka, a chuckle or a belly laugh is never far away.
Now, a weird fact that always tickles me: Osaka's dialect, the Osaka Ben, is infused with particular words and intonations that can baffle even other native Japanese speakers. It's vibrant and full of character, much like Osakans themselves.
Maido. One visit to the city, and you'll be picking up phrases you won't find in your standard Japanese phrase book.
The language here brims with warmth. Just try saying nandeyanen with a frown. It's impossible. And for the city that runs on punctuality, there's an unusual twist. Osaka runs on its own official time, literally.
Now that's a brilliant bit of Osaka trivia. The city has its own standard time, a whole 20 seconds ahead of the rest of Japan, known as the Osaka time.
Consider it the city's small rebellion against the tick-tock of conformity, a time zone of their own making, to stay ever so slightly ahead of the game.
And what's a city without its superstitions? Osaka's Hanshin Tigers fans believe in the curse of Colonel Sanders. Legend has it that the curse befell the team after fans tossed a statue of the good colonel into the Dotonbori River.
A baseball team and a fast food mascot entwined in the annals of sports superstitions. It's a testament to Osaka's quirky side that blends seamlessly with everyday life.
Then there's also the otherworldly kofun, ancient burial mounds that dot the Osaka landscape, some shaped like keyholes visible from the skies, historical mysteries wrapped in enigma.
A bird's-eye view transforms these earthen mounds into colossal fingerprints of the past, where each swirl could spin tales of buried emperors and forgotten lore.
From ancient enigmas to modern marvels, Osaka is home to the world's first capsule hotel. The capsule in Osaka pioneered the idea of ultra-compact, stackable sleeping pods, setting off a global trend in space-efficient accommodation.
Space-efficient and undeniably futurist, like a sleeping car on a spaceship gently orbiting Osaka. Now, another whimsical touch. Vending machines here aren't just for snacks and drinks.
Oh, they're for nearly everything under the sun, from fresh eggs and umbrellas to mystery boxes and hot meals. The vending machine culture is alive and well and delightfully unpredictable.
And as we wind down our litany of the weird and the wonderful, let's not forget the Billiken. This deity of fortune, though not originally from Japan, has been wholeheartedly adopted by Osakans as their good luck charm.
They've made the Billiken one of their own, and his cheeky smile can be spotted peering from many a retail counter, promising prosperity to all who rub his feet.
It seems you can always count on Osaka to offer delightful oddities at every turn, a city where the peculiar is celebrated and the mundane is reimagined.
As we prepare to close this chapter of our Osaka exploration and leave these charming quirks behind, stick with us as we delve into the rich tapestry of Osaka's history in our next segment.
A history that's been written by the ebb and flow of times and tides, each leaving an indelible mark on this city's soul. Dear listeners, we'll turn back the pages of time right after this short musical interlude.
Welcome back, story seekers and history hunters. This part of our Osaka excursion takes us through time. Are you ready to walk the pathway of the past with us, Luca?
Lara, there's nothing I love more than a good stroll down history lane, especially when it's as rich and storied as Osaka's. This city is truly a palimpsest, layers upon layers of stories just waiting to be read.
Let's start at the beginning, or as close to it as we can get. Before Osaka was Osaka, it was known as Naniwa. It served as Japan's first capital city, a bustling port of political and economic significance.
Can you imagine those ancient streets, vibrant with traders from far and wide, the pulse of early Japan beating right here in Naniwa?
Absolutely. The thought alone sends shivers of excitement down my spine. And right at the center of it all stood the impressive Naniwa no Miya Palace. Though it's no longer standing, the site still resonates with the echoes of ancient ceremonies and political intrigues.
But of course, history is nothing if not a series of transformations. With the rise of the samurai class, power shifted, and the Naniwa no Miya Palace faded into memory, now marked by a solitary stone monument.
Speaking of samurai, any mention of Osaka's history would be incomplete without speaking of the mighty Toyotomi Hideyoshi, who unified Japan in the late 16th century. It was he who constructed the first iteration of the iconic Osaka castle.
Ah, yes. Hideyoshi's audacious campaign to consolidate power had at its heart this grand castle. It wasn't just a fortress, it was a statement, a declaration of the arrival of a new era.
And yet, like all mighty structures, it couldn't escape the throes of conflict. The summer and winter sieges of Osaka, barely a generation later, shook its foundations and brought an end to the Toyotomi lineage.
Those wars paved the way for the Tokugawa shogunate, which saw a period of peace and isolationism for Japan. Osaka during this time flourished as a merchant city, the kitchen of Japan, a reputation it holds to this day.
It's that storied past that seeps into the city's cobblestones and flavors the air. The merchant savvy lives on, in a culture that treasures business acumen and the art of the deal.
With such a rich mercantile tradition, it's no wonder the Osaka Stock Exchange, now part of the Japan Exchange Group, came to be. It's like a modern continuation of those lively Edo period market stalls.
Move through time to the late 19th and early 20th centuries, and Osaka once again transforms, this time into a hub of industry and manufacturing, a powerhouse during Japan's rapid modernization.
This era saw the emergence of a new Osaka, factories billowing smoke towards the sky, the tenacity of the working class shaping the metropolis that we witness today.
And let's not forget the remarkable reconstruction efforts after World War II. Many cities brought low by conflict, but not Osaka. It rose again, invigorated, proving the unbreakable spirit of its people.
That resilience shines through in every street corner, every smiling vendor, and every glimmering skyscraper. It's a city that honors its past while striding confidently into the future.
As we weave through the historical fabric of this city, we're reminded that every modern convenience, every gleaming building, and every peaceful park stands on the shoulders of what came before.
The ebb and flow of history, with its triumphs and tragedies, is etched into the DNA of Osaka. It's a story of resilience, reinvention, and sheer unwavering strength.
Truly, Luca, the city is a living, breathing history book, a narrative spun with each passing day, added to by everyone who calls this place home.
And to every traveler who steps foot onto its streets, you too become a part of Osaka's ever-unfolding story. A new layer in the living history that is this incredible city.
We hope this journey through time has enchanted you as much as it has us, and has perhaps sparked a longing to discover Osaka's historical charm for yourself.
But our journey doesn't end here. Stay with us, because when we return, we're bringing you the expert travel tips you need to navigate this historical gem with ease.
Whether you're planning your first trip or looking to revisit with a fresh perspective, we have the inside scoop for you. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this short break. Hello again, world wanderers. By now, you've glimpsed the soul of Osaka through its iconic sights, delicious cuisine, hidden gems, and arresting history. Now it's time to arm you with the know-how to turn that glimpse into a gaze. Right, Luca?
Right you are, Lara. It's expert travel tips time. Navigating a new city is an art, and we're here to be your muses, guiding you through the vibrant tapestry that is Osaka.
So let's cut to the chase with our first tip, a golden rule when traveling here. Embrace the public transport system. It's punctual, clean, and impressively efficient.
Few things are as reliable as an Osaka subway train or a thundering Hankyu line speeding through the city. Grab yourself an Ikoka card for seamless swiping through the turnstiles.
And remember, the trains and buses are part of the journey. Watch the city scenes flash by from the window, the flow of life that courses through Osaka's veins.
Next up, let's talk about overcoming language barriers. While English is commonly used in tourist spots, it's always handy to have a few Japanese phrases up your sleeve. Arigato, thank you, and sumimasen, excuse me, can go a long way.
Embrace the opportunity to learn. Often, your attempts to speak the language will be met with encouragement and sometimes delightful conversation.
Our third tip, timing your visit. Osaka is stunning year-round, but each season offers its own flavor. Spring, with its famed cherry blossoms, and autumn, with fiery maple foliage, are visual treats.
But don't overlook the energetic summer festivals and the winter, which brings its own sense of serene beauty. Plan accordingly, and you'll experience the city in its finest attire.
Speaking of attire, let's talk about what to pack. Comfortable shoes are a must. Osaka is a city best explored on foot, with sights, sounds, and smells you might miss otherwise.
Absolutely, and layers, Luca. Osaka's weather is notorious for changing on a dime. Be prepared, and you'll enjoy it come rain or shine.
Number 5, Lara, making the most of Osaka's accommodation options. From 5-star luxury to quaint ryokan inns and eclectic capsule hotels, there's something for every budget and taste.
Experience matters. A night in a traditional tatami room is as memorable as the city itself. Or, for the tech-savvy, a night in a capsule can be an adventure in modern efficiency.
Ah, the capsule life. It's snug, Lara, but surprisingly satisfying. Now here's a tip for you foodies. Don't just dine. Dive into the food culture. Take a cooking class, visit the markets, and learn to pick the freshest sashimi like a pro.
It adds a whole new layer to your travels, doesn't it? To not just taste, but to engage with the cuisine. You'll take a piece of Osaka home with you, in recipes and skills.
Gastronomy aside, here's a little secret for the best views of the city. Head to the lesser-known Cosmo Tower. It's the tallest building in Western Japan, and its observatory offers a quiet and breathtaking panorama.
Oh, that's a good one, Luca. And if you're seeking mementos, remember that Osaka is a treasure trove of unique souvenirs. From traditional crafts in Namba to the trendy boutiques in Umeda, you'll find the perfect keepsake.
And let's discuss connectivity. Stay connected with ease by renting a portable Wi-Fi device or a SIM card. It'll help you navigate the city and share those Insta-worthy snaps in real time.
Technology on your side makes for smooth sailing. But remember, sometimes getting a little lost leads to the best discoveries. The city's charm often lies off the beaten path.
Speaking of which, the path may lead you to chance encounters. Osaka's locals are known for their warmth and friendliness. Don't hesitate to ask for help. You might make a new friend or two.
And for an authentic local experience, join in a festival if you can. Be it Tenjin Matsuri or Kishiwada Danjiri, you'll feel the heartbeat of the city. The drum beats, the color, the communal joy.
Tradition comes alive in these festivals, and to be a part of that, even as a bystander, is truly special. And finally, Lara, I think we should emphasize, always be respectful of the local culture and etiquette.
Witnessing different ways of life is a gift, and when we approach it with respect, we enrich our travels and the lives of those we meet along the way.
With these expert travel tips, you're more than ready to embark on your own Osaka adventure. Navigate with confidence, but let wonder be your compass.
Explorers, our time is nearly up, but fear not. We have one last gem of a segment for you. Up next, we'll guide you through stunning side excursions just a stone's throw from Osaka.
Why stop at one city when you can add more pins to your travel map? Stay tuned, and we'll tell you how your Osaka journey can be the gateway to even more exploration.
Our virtual tour of Osaka is nearing its finish line, but before we wrap up, there's one more adventure on the horizon. It's time we talk about side excursions, those lovely getaways within reach of the big city. Right, Luca?
Spot on, Lara. Osaka is not just a destination, it's a jumping-off point to a myriad of wonders. Let's start with a day trip that's close to our hearts, the enchanting realm of Minu Park.
A stone's throw from the urban hustle, Minu Park is a breath of fresh greenery, a quiescent piece of nature's puzzle, where waterfalls sing a soothing lullaby.
Only a 30-minute train ride from Osaka, Minu, or Meiji no Morimino Quasi-National Park, envelops you in its misty magic. The highlight? The Minu Waterfall. Its cascading beauty is a natural orchestra to any listener.
And along the pathway, maple trees paint the sky with reds and oranges in autumn. Every step is like a verse in a woodland poem, isn't it? And that's not to mention the local specialty, deep-fried maple leaves.
Tempting indeed. Now, if you feel like a different change of pace, how about a trip to the port city of Kobe? A short hop on the train and you're in a cosmopolitan setting with its own unique flair.
A city of style and substance. Kobe's harbor lights twinkle like stars, reflecting on the waters, a montage of modernity and resilience post the 1995 earthquake. And of course, we can't discuss Kobe without mentioning its legendary beef.
An indulgence prized the world over. But Kobe offers more than just gustatory delights, a mosaic of cultures, a coffee scene that rivals Milan's, and the verdant vistas from Mount Rocco will leave you breathless.
Breathtaking indeed. Or maybe, dear wayfarers, you fancy following the bunny trail, a ferry ride to Okunoshima Island, where friendly rabbits roam and history whispers through the relics of war.
A unique mix of adorable and somber, the rabbits run freely, as if guardians of the island's secret history. It's an excursion that touches the heart in more ways than one.
For our literary-loving travelers, there's a side trip that speaks directly to your souls. The town of Uji, near Kyoto, where the tale of Genji, considered the world's first novel, unfurls its chapters.
Uji brings to life the elegance of the Heian period with its storied shrines and the serene Uji River. Walk the same paths as the novel's characters and feel the narrative come alive.
And speaking of walks, the pilgrimage routes of Koyasan will call to those yearning for spiritual sustenance. Days spent in the tranquility of temple lodgings, where morning prayers and vegetarian cuisine transport you.
An experience that fills the spirit. The cedar-lined paths and the ancient Okunoin cemetery soothe the soul with an ancestral calm, a remarkable contrast to Osaka's verve.
Indeed, Luca, and there's more for the seekers of serenity. Awaji Island, nestled between Honshu and Shikoku, with lush gardens, hot springs, and the sweeping Naruto whirlpools.
A canvas of natural wonders, and on Awaji, you'll witness the mesmerizing dance of the earth, the whirlpools a choreography of the tides. And for beach lovers, Suma and Maiko offer sandy stretches and breezy outlooks.
Perfect for a sun-soaked day away from the cityscape. And let's not forget Nara, just an hour from Osaka, a city like a museum under the sky, replete with temples, shrines, and the amiable Nara deer who seem to believe they own the place.
They're the unofficial greeters of Nara Park. With history dating back to the 8th century, Nara stands as Japan's first permanent capital, and its peaceful demeanor makes it a soul-enriching visit.
From historic capitals to lively port cities, mountain sanctuaries to islands whispered by the ages, the lands around Osaka are a gallery of experiences.
Well said, Lara. And as we start bringing this journey to a halt, we hope these little seeds of travel inspiration blossom into voyages for each of you.
Get out there, explore, let Osaka be the gateway to more adventures. Every train ride, every path walked, every ferry sailed is the beginning of a new tale waiting to be told.
And speaking of tales, we're reaching the end of this one. Stay with us just a little longer as we wrap up this journey through Osaka with our final thoughts and heartfelt farewells.
Fellow travelers, what a voyage it has been. From Osaka's bustling streets and soaring skyscrapers to its soul-stirring vistas just beyond city limits. But like every great trip, our podcast journey too must find its sunset.
Indeed, Lara. Yet, as the sun dips below the horizon, it illuminates the memories we've gathered like so many scattered petals on the path behind us, vivid, fragrant, and endlessly evocative.
Together we've marveled at the stoic grandeur of Osaka Castle, with its tales tall as its stone walls, and we felt the giddy rush of the city's pace at Dotonbori and Umeda Sky Building.
We've savored every morsel, from takoyaki to kushikatsu, discovering that in Osaka, cuisine is not just food, it's a heartfelt sonnet to life's simple pleasures.
We've tumbled down the rabbit hole to find hidden gems where time stands still, and every chime of a temple bell or shuffle of geisha sandals tells a story older than the city's neon lights.
And we've uncovered peculiar threads of the city's fabric that weave a tapestry rich with the laughter of comedic banter, the curious flavors of foodie fads, and the touch of fortune's feet. Here's looking at you, Billiken.
We've traversed through epochs, standing on the bridge between the then and now, learning how Osaka is a city forever rising, a city of reinvention, with history as its deep and enduring heartbeat.
And speaking heartbeats, how could we forget sharing our expert travel tips designed to make the pulse of Osaka beat in sync with your own, making your travels as smooth as a freshly poured sake.
We've whispered of escapes to quieter realms, Minu's waterfall whispers, Kobe's sizzling serenity, and Nara's deer-laden diplomacy, a reminder that wonder lies around every corner.
But now, as we cast our last look over this extraordinary metropolis, what strikes me, Lara, is the warmth, the undefeatable spirit of a city that no matter what, always stands tall, always welcomes, and always enchants.
Undefeatable spirit, that is it, Luca. In Osaka, there's an undying embrace of kuidaore, the concept of eating oneself into a blissful state. But it's more than about food. It's about indulging in life, relishing encounters, and savoring moments.
And what more could we ask from our travels but to indulge, savor, and relish? These are the stories we wish you to gather in your own journey, the tales that will echo in the laughter you share with friends or in the quiet reflection of solitary travels.
So go forth, listeners, take with you the essence of travel with Lara and Luca, a curiosity that knows no bounds and a thirst for the beauty of this wide world, starting right here in Osaka.
Let this city be the beginning of many travels to come. For no trip is ever truly the end. It's rather a lingering note in the melody of your next great adventure.
And when the urge hits to once again strap on that backpack or wheel out that suitcase, remember the streets of Osaka. Remember the joy, the laughter, the taste, and the history that awaits your return.
Because, travelers, you're part of the city's story now, one that continually unfolds with each footfall upon its storied pavements.
It's been an absolute delight to be your guides, your raconteurs, on this expedition through the heart of Japan's living, breathing, loving city, Osaka.
We thank you for joining us, sending you off with heartfelt gratitude and anticipation for the stories you will bring back from your explorations.
Until then, we bid you sayonara, but not goodbye. Keep the spirit of travel alive in your hearts and the streets of Osaka in your dreams.
Travel with Lara and Luca will return to whisk you off to another corner of the globe. But for now, we leave you with a gentle sign-off and the promise of adventures to come.
Safe travels, dear friends. Sayonara.